Hello and welcome to the video. So today we're going to talk about what the top 5 data tools you could learn in 2025 are to help you super boost your career or learn more about how to get better at using data. And so why? Why would you want to learn tools to get better at using data? Well, one, from the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, data scientist jobs, the demand for data scientists is expected to grow by 36% from 2021 to 2031. That's a whole bunch of new roles that are going to be created, and working with data is going to be a key component to being successful in them and helping you land a high-paying job, which also the BLS says in data science, this is not for all data careers, but for data science, you can earn on average $137,000 in data science if you become a data scientist, and the demand for data scientists is expected to grow by 37% from 2021 to 2031. Mastering these tools can help make you job ready or really kind of super boost your career, even if you are not in a data related job currently. Okay, so the first tool, this may be obvious to some, is SQL. SQL is the blood of data. SQL basically is English for data. It is how you communicate with data, how you access data, how you can grab your data and manipulate it to get just a subset or a certain filter view of data that you want. So how that works is SQL is a programming language, and you can write SQL to talk to a database to extract data from that database. After you extract that data from that database, you can use even more SQL to make aggregate views, to look at rolling sums. You can filter to only look at a certain portion of your data that you want. Like for example, say you have data of all states and you only want to look at data from Florida. You can select all of the data from your database and then enter a where condition that says where state equals Florida. What this will do is it will filter your data to only show you where your data is coming from, where the state of that data is equal to Florida. And then career-wise, like pretty much any data analyst, data engineering, data scientist role, SQL is a core component to any of these fields. So for anything data related, you really need to be good at SQL to be successful in a career in data. Learning SQL can be really fun. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of tutorials about intro to SQL, advanced SQL, kind of medium SQL, and then doing full step-by-step projects starting from scratch to finished portfolio projects, all using SQL. And the goal is to really kind of create a really robust curriculum that can teach people who know nothing from SQL in the beginning to becoming full-fledged SQL experts. But overall, point 1, the first tool that you can learn in 2025 to super boost your career or just kind of learn more about data and get your foot in the door is SQL. And YouTube has so many great free resources that you can use to kind of get started already. And then I'll be coming out with a whole bunch of stuff in the future, so stay tuned for that. Now, the next tool that you can learn in 2025 is Python. So Python is another programming language. It is a little bit more complicated than SQL because SQL can read almost like human language and sometimes is really intuitive to understand, which makes SQL really nice to learn. Now, Python is an object-oriented programming language, more similar to kind of JavaScript, if you know that a little bit, or C# to a degree, but it really is a full-fledged programming language that can be a bit of a learning curve to learn, but if you can learn it, it can really make you super powerful with all sorts of data analyses that you can do, or even more complex machine learning things. Now, data scientists tend to use Python a lot. And the reason why Python is used is it is super versatile. You can use it to write full-fledged scripts. It is great for automation. You can write scripts to automate simple tasks. And then third is the machine learning. So there's a ton of libraries like TensorFlow, Scikit that you can tap into and use machine learning algorithms on your data if you're using it correctly to extract even deeper insights from your data that you really kind of can't get to in SQL. So basically, like, if SQL is riding a bike, Python is driving a car when working with your data. It just allows you to act even more powerful. And you can write SQL within your Python and then use that Python to automate data pulls or push data queries to the cloud. That's a bit more complex and outside the scope of this, but Python really just allows you to be super efficient and effective with your data. Now, a great way to get started using Python is by using Jupyter notebooks. But a great way to learn Python is doing YouTube tutorials, but then running those tutorials in a Jupyter notebook, which allows you to kind of run small chunks of code in live time, and it allows you to debug a lot quicker, and allows you to get your outputs like spit out right in front of you. This is what a Jupyter notebook looks like. I highly recommend check it out if you're getting started in Python. They're super helpful for learning because you can really test your code as you go live, rather than if you're running a more larger project, you have to run it from the terminal sometimes. But check out Jupyter Notebooks. And then second pro tip to get started is learn pandas and numpy. So pandas and numpy are both libraries within Python, and numpy is great for matrix mathematics, and pandas is great for structuring data. So pandas allows you to treat your data like a Google Sheet and allows you to perform column or row-based operations across all your full data set super easily. Especially when you apply that with Spark, you can kind of speed up very large functions applied to your data set super quickly. So in order to get started by learning Python, Google a free tutorial on YouTube, check out Jupyter Notebooks, and then check out the pandas and numpy library to get going. And then in the future, I'm gonna have a ton of Python tutorials. I love Python. Python has allowed me to really automate a lot of simple tasks when I'm working with my data, and has saved me a ton of time throughout the years that I've been working with data. And there's a cute little dog here. And there's a cute little dog right here. This is Theodore, and he needs to go to the bathroom outside. So we're gonna pause the video right now, and I'm gonna take Theodore outside because he's a good boy. And the next tool I recommend, which sometimes can be a little overlooked, is Excel. And Excel can be super, super duper great if you know how to use it correctly. So for example, say you just have a small data set. It may not even be worth your time to put it into a cloud data warehouse and do SQL on it. If you can get super good at doing Excel functions, you can often get done ad hoc analyses just out of a G sheet or an Excel file super quickly. And so Excel is great at a lot of things, but in the realm of data, it's great at two things in particular: data cleaning and then simple data analysis. Data cleaning by being that you can use different functions in Excel, like trim, text, if functions, to clean your data by filtering out different characters that may be in your data table or unwanted things that may be in your data. So you can use trim to kind of trim off the ends of it, text to convert different variable types to string-based variable types, and then if to handle if clauses. So basically where you need to apply some logic and say, if the data field equals this, so basically if your Excel field equals this, handle it this way, else handle it another way. We'll get much more into specifics in a different video. That at a high level is how you can use Excel for data cleaning. And then on the data analysis side, you can use pivot charts to make super good summaries of your data. So say you have sales data, you can in sales data by state, you can insert a pivot chart in Excel to get a summary of how much total revenue was sold by state. And then additionally, after you've done the summary with a pivot table, you can use conditional logic to highlight the cells that represent the states that either oversold their targets or undersold their targets or right on, and you can color code that. So it can make a super good, kind of quick, easy file that you can easily share to someone else in the company to quickly show a complex data set that was summarized super neatly.